First of all, I want to apologize for the fan in the background, but there's really nothing I can do because it is 32 degrees today and it is so hot. I'm sitting on my bedroom floor and I am hoping you can hear me. I posted something last night on Instagram which I felt like was really important. I was literally blown away by the response that I got and the amount of support that I got from just thousands of you, like tens of thousands of you. I just got so many comments and so much love from that post, and I really just wanted to thank you if you are one of those people. This past week and a half-ish has been pretty difficult, and I don't even really like admitting that because it's still quite raw and it's still quite fresh, and usually I like to keep those kinds of things private or under wraps until a lot longer. If you don't know this already about me, I struggled with disordered eating for years, and it started probably around the age of 12 actually, but really properly started around the age of 16. And when I was 16, for 3 years, from like 16 to 19 or 16 to 18-ish, I struggled with binge eating due to restrictive dieting, which is normally how it starts. When I was 19 till I got pregnant with Amelia at 24 I think. I always say this, like, whenever I do interviews about my ED past or anything like that, I always say that Amelia saved my life, because it's true. I had never felt anything but hatred for myself and my body until I got pregnant with her, and that's the God honest truth. Like, it just, she saved.
Somewhere out here, way up high in the stratosphere, there's someone watching over her life. It rains when she is crying, the sun comes out when she's smiling, the world weeps when she's yearning, but the fire keeps on burning.
Knowing that I had suddenly some like higher purpose in, you know, housing this baby and growing this baby made me like my body for the first time ever, and that had never ever happened in my adult life before. So all of a sudden I actually kind of liked myself, and that made me just want to recover. That all came to a screeching halt when I stopped breastfeeding my second baby, Eduardo, because all of a sudden I didn't have a purpose anymore. Fine for quite a long time. I suffered a miscarriage. I didn't relapse, which I remember feeling so proud of myself because I came really close. Pregnant again with Alessia and was absolutely fine. Got pregnant, breastfed her, stopped breastfeeding her. It was really emotional, but I was pregnant with Andrea, so again, was okay. You know, had Andrea, postpartum with him was absolutely fine. And now I've stopped breastfeeding him, and I knew that this was coming, so I was more prepared this time. I was like, well, you know, the hormones are all gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna be getting the happy hormone anymore, which is a proven thing. It's not only mental, it's also like physiological. I never know what that word is. Physiological. That's the word I'm looking for. It's not just like in your head, it's actually like a thing that happens to your body, that your body stops producing this oxytocin hormone, which you get when you produce when you're breastfeeding. So I knew that was all going to happen, so I was deliberately trying to, you know, get my mind ready for it. All of a sudden these thoughts started creeping back in, like, and it's these thoughts that just come in and like start manifesting. And it really does shock you when it happens, because you feel like, I've done so much work, like why am I back here, like why is this happening to me? But you can't control it. Like sometimes it happens for one reason. It could be like a really stressful moment or a really stressful event in your life. It could be stopping breastfeeding. But I feel like with me, because so much of my identity so far as an adult has been wrapped up in pregnancy, breastfeeding, like all of that stuff, I feel like so much of my recovery was wrapped up in that. It's really hard now coming out of that and like starting afresh, kind of, to really know who I am anymore, because it's almost like I feel like I've been stripped bare again. Does that make sense? Like somebody's just stripped off all of my clothes and I'm just standing there naked, like who am I? You know? And just stripped off all of my identity and stripped off all of my, like, I don't know who I am anymore. And I think, judging from my post and the response that I got, a lot of people feel the same way. A lot of women feel the same way. That's not to say that I want another child, because I don't. Like, some people were like, well, why don't you just continue having babies? I'm like, no, because I don't want that. That's not the, and plus that's not the answer. I need to be happy with who I am, not just who I am as a pregnant or breastfeeding person, you know? Like, that's a beautiful thing, and I'm really proud of myself for doing it, and it's a huge part of my life, and being a mother is a huge part of my life. However, mothers are still people and individuals in themselves, and I have to be happy for my children to be happy, because if I'm not, then I'm not leading any kind of example for them. So I'm just kind of on a bit of a journey of like self-discovery lately, and I'm not gonna lie, things have been pretty rough this past week and a half. But I am also quite proud of myself, of how I've dealt with things. I know that I have the tools to deal with them, and I know that I have the strength to deal with it. It's just, it throws you through a loop when these thoughts come up that you thought were maybe gone or had disappeared. And that's why I think it's really important to have people in this space talking about this kind of thing, who have been through childbirth, who have been through breastfeeding and weaning, who have been through all of these things. I wish I knew more about that, and more about the hormones, and more about what happens to your body and your mind and everything. Last night Jonathan was taking him off to bed, and it still pains me, but I'm in such a stronger place now that I don't like break down anymore. I don't, whereas with Eduardo I did, with Alessia I did, like I didn't know how to handle it. Now I'm just like, cool, I'm fine, when in reality probably on the inside I'm not. I've got so good at putting on like a really hard shell. But Jonathan was taking him off to bed, and he went to hug me, Andrea did. And I just remember saying, like, the first thing that popped into my mind was, I just couldn't believe that he still wanted me. Of course he still wants me, I'm his mom, but I just felt really happy that he still wanted me and still wanted to hug me, even though he's not technically getting anything. Not that he's not getting anything from me, but like he's not getting any nourishment from me anymore. And I just feel like so much of my self-worth is wrapped up in that, so I can't help myself from feeling that way. Because now I'm saying these words out loud and I'm like, of course he loves me, he's my child, like he's my baby. But it was the fact that he went to hug me, and I just felt like, wow, he still wants to hug me even though I'm not breastfeeding him anymore. Like, I must actually mean something to him. The whole point of this, I think, is that if you're going through something like this, please don't feel like you're the only one, because you're not. Like, I'm here for you if you are going through anything, any of the above, like any of the things that I just mentioned. It doesn't have to be, oh sorry, it doesn't have to be weaning related, it doesn't have to be ED related, it doesn't have to be specifically any of the things that I just mentioned, but any kind of mental health struggles or anything like that, just know that I care. Even if nobody else cares about you, I genuinely do care about you. If you reach out to me, if you leave a comment on Instagram, if you send me a message, like, just please do know that I do care about you, and I try and read every comment. It's not possible to read all of them, but I do try, and I try and respond to as many as possible. But just as some of you have said, like, you know, that I've helped you, you will probably never realize how much you've helped me. Please leave a comment below if you are struggling at all with any of the things that I mentioned, and maybe we can all help each other out. I think that there's a lot of power in that, in coming together, and it kind of just takes the power away from the actual disorder or the problem that you're having. It takes that power away, and it just kind of makes it more manageable. So I hope that this video was okay with the fan in the background. But yeah, there's no other way for me to do it because it's boiling hot. So thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you for all of your comments and your support. I really do genuinely appreciate every single one of you, and I'm so happy and honored to be a part of this community. And every time I see that kind of content and those kinds of comments, I'm reminded of why we started this in the first place. This is what it's all about, and you guys are just amazing. So I love you all, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.
I love you, Mommy. Tell me, Mommy. I love you, Mommy.